Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we are here at Frederick County Animal Control Center with some adoptable animals that are looking for new homes. And we are starting out today's episode with Chelsea. Chelsea is a 3 to 4 year old beagle who we adopted out from the shelter about 5 months ago to a young man who took care of her for those 5 months but had to move in with his mom. And their landlord at that house does not allow pets, so he wasn't able to keep her. One of the things that sometimes is hard for people who come in to adopt to understand is when people come in to adopt, we ask you if you own your own home or if we can call your landlord, and sometimes our policies seem a little intrusive. We need to know all this information about you. But the reason is because we try to prevent this. We try to prevent someone who takes on the responsibility of a dog from losing the dog a time later when conditions change. So a dog like Chelsea, who's 3 to 4, is going to live 10 or more years from now. So we really do need to find her a home with someone who can assure that in the next 10 years, as much as possible, that they're going to be able to control where they live and be able to provide a home for her. As you can see, she's shy. She's been through a lot. She came to us as a stray. We found her a home. She only got to stay in for 5 months, and now she's back here. So obviously she was well fed in her home for 5 months, so we're going to work on that a little bit. But beagles are very easy keepers. They love food and they enjoy eating. She is so nervous here on TV that Randy offered her a treat she wouldn't take. So we are looking for somebody who would be patient and kind to her and understand that she doesn't know what's happening and where she's going to live, and is going to need somebody to understand. And she's shaking a little bit now, so need somebody to understand that she'll need patience and kindness. They told us that she was good with kids, that she was friendly with their family, outgoing, tail wagging, but they did say she was afraid of strangers. When strangers come over to her, she'll lie down on the floor and be very submissive and polite. So that is to be expected in her new home as well, and she's doing a little bit of that here. So if you like beagles and are interested in one with the gentle disposition of Chelsea, then I encourage you to come by the shelter and meet her, see what she thinks of you, see what you think of her. And if you know of somebody other than you who might be interested, then you can pass this episode of Pet Finder around through email, or you can go to Pet Finder and find her picture and pass that around. You're a good girl. We are back with our next guest. This is Reeves. Reeves is an almost 2-year-old Malamute, and he weighs a considerable amount, and he's a young dog, so he is going to need somebody who's prepared for this giant animal. We got him from a Malamute rescue that was full. As you can see, he sits when he's asked to. He's a good boy. And they asked us to handle his adoption like we do our puppy adoptions, which means we're going to take 4 applications and pick the best match. We are looking for somebody preferably with puppy experience and preferably with Malamute experience. If we don't find that, then obviously we're going to help you with all the knowledge we can. Get ready for such a big boy. Malamutes are bred for pulling sleds through winter snow. They're very strong and very smart dogs, lovely dogs, and something for you to seriously consider, because this is like having a bear in your house. Reeves is, his birthday is on July 17th, so what we're hoping is we can find him a new home before his 2nd birthday. If you are interested in adopting a dog like Reeves, then please come by the shelter and meet him, because we also have another dog in the shelter, another Malamute from the same rescue. Reeves was purchased from a breeder, so we do, that's how we know his birthday. And as you can see, he's still puppyish. and is going to need somebody to withstand the next 6 months to 8 months of his life, training him and teaching him to be all that he can be. If you are interested in a dog like Reeves, please call us. If you think that he's the most beautiful dog you've ever seen, come by the shelter, meet him. We're open on Wednesday and Thursday nights till 8. He is a gentle dog despite his size, so hopefully we're going to find him a home by his birthday. You're a good boy. We are back with Spooner, and Spooner is a Parsons Russell Terrier mix. It's okay, you can come up here. Spooner is a Parsons Russell Terrier mix, and we were just saying we didn't think that he would want to get on the chairs because he was a farm dog. So that was wrong. Spooner grew up on a farm. He's used to kids of all ages, and we neutered him here, and we adopted him out to a family that had children because on the farm he was used to kids of all ages. But the family said that he's not comfortable with being hugged and grabbed by children. A lot of adult dogs are that way. They have to gradually get used to what hugging means. And if you think of it from a dog's point of view, if I were to grab him and wrap my arms around him, that would be very similar to a dog in a dog park mounting him, which between dogs would be considered rude. So once he is used to living with a family and knows that people have arms and people use those arms to show affection, he can definitely be comfortable with that kind of handling, but it frightens him now. He's a pretty brave dog. As you see, he was going to jump up on my lap. That was unexpected. I didn't know that he would be that confident. But because he grew up on a farm, that means he is used to barn cats. He is used to other dogs. He's used to livestock like cattle. I don't know, hi sweetheart, I don't know if they had horses on their farm, but Parsons Russells used to be called Jack Russells, and they're very commonly kept around horses. So we think that Spooner is going to be a great pet. He just needs someone with the patience to let him get through the stage of going from completely outdoor, free to do as he chooses and be with other animals, to living inside where there are rules, restrictions, and manners that he needs to learn. He seems like he is up to the challenge, and he's also very young, so that shouldn't be hard for him at all. He's less than 3 years old. So if you think that Spooner would make a good match for your farm or for someone that you know, then please come by the shelter and meet him, see what you think, and we would love to make a perfect match for him. And also, if you know of somebody who might be interested in him or a dog like him, pass his picture around through email and see what other people think about him. I think he's really a nice dog. He just does not know all of the things that happen inside of a house with TVs and furniture and the kinds of things that he will have to be introduced to. You're a good boy, Spooner. And we are back with Logan. Logan is a 7-year-old collie mix, and he is in the shelter looking for a new home with a companion dog that he's been raised with his whole life. So if you have been looking for 2 dogs that will entertain each other and get along together for sure, then you might consider adopting Logan and Keegan together. But we're not requiring that. A lot of times people will hear that a dog is 7 and say, oh, I don't know, that's kind of an old dog. A dog that is Logan's size can live 12 to 15 years, so he certainly has plenty of time left to give. What is another great thing about Logan is his size. He is the perfect size. His coat is also not too much of a shedding coat, but the best thing of all, Logan is completely house trained. So if you were looking for a dog that you don't have to worry about when you first introduce him to your new home, obviously we always recommend taking some time to get your dog used to the new routine before you leave him home alone. But Logan really has a lot going for him. His experience with people, as well as his past training, and as well as the fact that he can get along with other dogs. Logan has been here for about a month, and the reason is because he caught kennel cough when he came here. So he was being treated for that before we put him back up for adoption. And sometimes people ask us what we do about kennel cough. It is like kids going to a daycare. They can catch colds from each other from being in a crowded place. If we get kennel cough in the shelter, then obviously the cold already exists in Frederick County, and we do not euthanize dogs for having a cold. We isolate them, treat them with antibiotics, and offer them for adoption when they're healthy. That does make it so that the shelter gets crowded, but we do want to try to reach the goal of not euthanizing dogs that can make wonderful pets because they have minor issues. So if you think that Logan would be a good match for you or someone that you know, come by to the shelter and meet him, or share his picture around and see if we can find him a good match. And especially if someone might be looking for two dogs together, then Logan and Keegan would make a perfect pair. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. You think? Our last canine guest for this episode is Max. Max is a 1.5-year-old Great Pyrenees puppy. He has one eye that's half blue and half brown, and the other eye that's brown. And Max is a lovely dog, but we do consider him special needs because Max first came to us as a stray, and his owner reclaimed him. And we asked the owner about his weight. He's a thin dog, and as an unneutered male, that wouldn't be abnormal. He didn't seem hungry when he came in. He's picky about what he eats. So the owners were unable to verify that they've taken him to a vet or had any vet look at him. So he ended up here again in the shelter, and his owners are not going to reclaim him. So our vet examined him, and although he's a picky eater, he has been putting on weight in the shelter. So he now is ready for adoption and to go to a new home. But we do consider him a special needs dog because his previous home wasn't able to provide him everything that he needs. So Max is definitely going to need to be groomed and taken to a vet and put on heartworm preventative and all kinds of things that a big dog like this needs. As you can see from his demeanor here, even though he's only 1.5 years old, he's very polite, sweet dog, lots to offer, doesn't pull too hard on the leash, sits when you ask him to. So we think he's going to make someone a great pet. We did have a family drive out from Salisbury this weekend to meet him, and they were a little concerned about his history, the fact that he was thin and that he wasn't vetted in his previous home. Our vet has looked at him, but of course we didn't do blood work or take x-rays or anything like that because he's putting on weight now. So there's somewhat of a risk in taking a stray dog without vet history, but we think that he's going to make someone a great pet. And Great Pyrenees are popular, and they're usually gentle dogs, as Max appears to be. So if you think that Max would be a good match for you or someone that you know, then by all means come and meet him or pass his picture around. We do work with rescues in the area whenever we have purebred dogs or dogs with special needs. There are many rescues that will take tiny dogs, or there's a Cocker Spaniel rescue that specializes in older dogs. So we certainly would accept an offer from a rescue to take him as well. But we think we would be able to find him a home from the shelter and that he will make somebody very happy. So we're going to take a little break and get some other guests ready for you to meet here at the shelter. And I hope you will join us after that and think about all the dogs you've seen on the episode so far, understanding that, of course, we have about 40 dogs in the shelter. We could not feature them all today. So if you didn't see the dog that you are interested in on the first part of our episode, let us know what you're looking for. And we have a wish list feature that we can help you find the perfect match for you. Good boy, Max.
Hey, look at that large group of paddlers over there.
Yeah, that's that Parks and Rec group again. Nice bunch. They're out here all summer. They do trips on the Monocacy and the Potomac.
They sure look like they're having a good time.
That's probably because the staff is so helpful and informative. Anybody can go on those trips.
Well, what am I doing out here with you then?
I don't know. Neither of us can swim, and you keep sticking me with that hook. Hey, what are you doing? You gonna flip the... Whoa!
Need an idea for your child's birthday party? Look no further. At the Middletown Rec Center, we have all your birthday party needs. We have a full-size gymnasium, our large rec room, sports equipment, and many birthday party theme ideas. Each party includes crafts, games, and a story. Please call 301-600-1646 for more information.
If you're 55 or older and looking for a way to get moving and strengthen your body, then join the Frederick Senior Center for its strength training class. This class is offered daily and no pre-registration is required. For just $2 a class, you can develop strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination. Strength training also increases your metabolism, which can help control weight gain and help lower your blood pressure. So stop thinking about it and start exercising today. Classes are offered at the Frederick Senior Center, located at 1440 Taney Avenue in Frederick. For more information and class schedules, call 301-600-1605.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. We are at Frederick County Animal Control, and we have some feline guests that need new homes that are residing in the shelter on Rosemont Avenue. And our first guest is Gary. Gary is a black and white male neutered cat who is 8 years old. And since cats can live 15 to 20 years nowadays, he has plenty of time left to give. And Gary is probably one of the biggest cats we have here in the shelter, and he's affectionate, has experience with people. His family gave him up because they are moving, which is a very common reason that we hear for giving up of pets. And they acquired him at PetSmart. So we would also like to let anyone know who works with or has a cat rescue that he's here, because many of the rescues who adopt out cats through PetSmart will take any cats back if they lose their home. And unfortunately, Gary's family wasn't able to tell us which rescue at PetSmart that they acquired him from. So he's perfectly safe here. He's a lovely cat. We'll keep him as long as it takes for him to find a home. But we do want to offer up that if a rescue recognizes him, that they are also welcome to take him on and find him a new home. Gary should not be difficult to find a new home for because he uses his litter box, he's affectionate with people, he has short hair, he's lovely. But one of the things we have going on right now is it is kitten season. So Gary is in a cage right next to bunches of tiny fuzzy kittens, some of whom you will meet in just a moment. We are back with Susie, and you would think it would take about 1 minute to find a home for this little kitten named Susie. She is a brown tabby, 8 weeks old, and she has been in the shelter for a couple of weeks ever since she turned 3 pounds. This time of year, we start receiving kittens, and we will keep receiving kittens until October. We will end up with over 1,000 kittens going through the shelter system this summer. And so, as cute as she is at the moment, she is not special since we have so many. So hopefully we will be able to find Susie a home rather shortly. She is feisty, as kittens should be at her age. She will eat string, eat Randy, eat earrings, chase little balls of paper, run up and down the stairs, and sometimes people are not up to the level of energy of a kitten. But I will tell you it is short-lived, because in 6 to 8 months she's going to be just like every other cat you see us have on the show. She'll be sitting in someone's lap and purring and knowing not to get on the table and do all of the things that you don't want her to do. But certainly what people mostly say about this stage is it's very dangerous. But it's also very, very fun. So if you are interested in having a little tiny lion in your house, then consider coming in to meet her and other kittens, which we will be introducing you to this morning. And I'm actually really glad she showed you that, because we keep their nails trimmed very short while they're here to minimize injuries from that kind of play. But that is what kittens are all about. It's really cute, but you really have to be up for the excitement of a kitten. They play hard and they sleep hard, and then in 6 months it's all over and you have a cat for the next 15 to 20 years.
She's actually being gentle.
Yes, she is, as Randy, she's being gentle. She's not causing him to need any surgery, but this is what kittens like to do. So if you are up for it, then please come by the shelter because we have plenty of kittens to choose from. We are back with Phantom, another one of our kittens that is available for adoption, and Phantom is an all-black domestic short hair. I am partial to black cats, and there's actually some research that says that black cats are the most likely to be friendly and outgoing of all the colors. And part of the reason for that is less about their color and more about dominant traits. Dominant traits in cats, especially male cats, include willingness to explore new territories and meet new people. And since black is a dominant color, it occurs quite frequently. So Phantom, as you can see, much like our last kitten, wants to do stuff. He wants to see things and hold things and jump on things and climb around. And this is all part of the commitment of having a kitten. When we took him out of the carrier, he started purring right away. So he's a pretty affectionate, people-oriented kitten. And yes, and Randy said he doesn't want to eat him. So that's a good thing. And this kitten will certainly have moments where he is as boisterous as the kitten you just met. But they all have their own different personalities. So we definitely encourage you to come by and meet them all. We do color code them blue, orange, and green so that we can tell you what their tendencies are towards being more energetic, towards being more laid back. But kittens are malleable and they change over time. So when you get a kitten, you can be part of their upbringing and expose them to many different things so that they can be comfortable around change. Or you can shelter them and create a kitten that is set in his ways and likes things to be predictable. But some of that they're born with, their curiosity and their energy level, which is temporary, but certainly something to be considered. So if you think that Phantom or any one of our kittens would make a good match for you, please come by the shelter and meet them and pass their picture around to people you know who might be interested in a kitten. And as I said, we get over 1,000 kittens during this time of year, so we really do need you to consider adopting from the shelter. And the best part about adopting a shelter kitten is that for under $100, you get a kitten that is already neutered, started on vaccinations, treated with worm medicine, treated for fleas, and it really gives you a good jump financially on the cost of getting a new pet into your home. We are back with Stormy, and she is a long-haired kitten that we have in the shelter. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but she's not exactly a black kitten. She has longer hair, and her hair is kind of gray, dusty looking, it's similar to a smoke-colored tabby, and it's just very unique. And as she gets older, it's possible that her fur will turn to fully black, but I suspect she's going to have like gray undertones for the rest of her life and be quite a beautiful cat. She also happens to be a very nice kitten, mellow and friendly with people. And Stormy is here with a sibling kitten. Sometimes people ask us about adopting 2 siblings together, which is certainly a good way to ensure that 2 cats are going to get along. But just like with any other pairing, it's never a guarantee. For example, if you get 2 kittens when they're 8 weeks old, it's possible that when they're 9 or 10 months old, one of them will wish to go off on their own and have their own place to live. If that does happen, you can easily accommodate that in your home. What you would need is to have 2 litter boxes and to ensure that the cats have places to go in the house where they can be away from each other. Sometimes people are concerned when they see 2 kittens in a cage together playing and snuggling and being together that they'll be sad if they're separated. And it is nature's way that when they're 12 weeks old or thereabouts, that they would go off on their own and establish their own territory. So they are pre-programmed to break those little kittenhood bonds. But certainly if you want to adopt 2 kittens together, we are not opposed to that. The more you adopt, the better for us. We love to see them get into good homes. So if you would be considering adopting 2, she does have a sibling and they can be adopted together. If you think that Stormy is a good match for you or someone that you know, come by the shelter and meet her or send her picture around. We hope to find homes for all 1,200 or so of our kittens between now and October. So we're going to be pretty busy. If you know of anyone who is thinking about getting a kitten, make sure to remind them to consider the shelter first. We are back with our last guest of today's episode. This brown tabby kitten's name is Jay, and Jay was given to someone by her friend, a mother cat that had kittens, and she kept him on a screened-in porch, but was not able to keep him, so she brought him to us in hopes that we will find a new home for him. One of the unique things about Jay, which might be a great selling point for him, is that he plays fetch. So, and many cats do. So if you ball up a little wad of paper and toss it for him, he'll run after it and bring it back so that you can throw it again, because he enjoys that game. So if you are interested in a cat that is already has some unique behavior that you can enjoy, then Jay might be the right kitten for you. He is, he looks very much like one of the other kittens that we just showed you. And it's always possible that they even came from the same litter. But we don't have any information about that, so they can't be together while they're here, because we do our best here to keep kittens from sharing colds and illnesses, to keep them healthy for you. If you are interested in getting a kitten, or if you would like to bypass this stage of a cat's life and get an adult cat, we have plenty of those as well. So if you have been thinking about a pet, don't forget that we also have rabbits. Currently we have a red-tailed boa. We sometimes have birds. We have many pets to choose from, and we do have our wish list feature. If you have a pet and you are interested, having some problems with your pets and are interested in rehoming your pet, consider calling us for advice on that before you embark on finding a new home for your pet. We have a lot of experience that we would love to share with you. And we also might even be able to give you tips or ideas that will easily solve some pet problems that you might be facing at the moment. And you would be able to keep your pet, which would also be a wonderful solution for everyone. But if you are interested in a kitten, then the animal shelter is the place to come between now and October. If you think that Jay in particular is the right one, then please let us know, or pass this picture around to someone who might be interested. He's going to get a pen and write a note. So don't forget about the shelter and other rescues that are in Frederick. There are plenty of pets that are homeless and need your help. We hope that you will join us next time on Pet Pals. And if you want to share this episode with someone, there is a link on the screen below where you can see it online and pass it on to others. Thanks for joining us.